Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Oh, it's never my Facebook or my YouTube. It's always my Instagram that takes so long. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I decided to exercise indoors today and do some other exercises because it's been really rainy and just, like a lot of mud out in my yard, from the sand and everything. And I'm like, it's probably not a good idea to play handball out there, and get my ball. I mean, I clean my ball every day after exercising anyway, but it was extremely like dirty, So I was like, I'm just gonna do it inside. Oh, rowing. How do you do that? Do you have a machine or you do it just like that? My dad had one of those machines where you did that. You sit in it and you do that. Because I remember I'd sit in there. I'm like, Dad, look. Okay, gotcha. That's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how long do you usually exercise? Jesus, my shit is taking a long time. Because I always exercise anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour. Depends on how I feel. And also how much time I have, blah blah blah. Um, Mm-hmm. Gotcha, gotcha. That's good. That's really good. Oh, thank you for that link. I will I will check that out later. Um who knows what will happen tonight, Promethean? We might be the only ones in here. If that's the case, I'll go early because I've been really kind of gauging the stuff, and I've been really having way more luck on the weekends, um, versus doing. I saw that. Is that a bug or is that a other thing? I don't know. Then during the week, because I think people really, they're tired and they're gonna work the next day, which is fine by me. But it's really been working good on the weekends and even on the Sunday, which is good, but also on the other hand bad because I've been working Mondays again, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to continue doing it anyway on Sundays because it's working good. So gotcha. Yeah, I'm probably going to wait like 30-45 minutes and see. I showed it yesterday already on stream. I have the first part of the Secret Doctrine here. This was a Yule gift to me from Draven, and this is the first book, Cosmogenesis. Even the pages are so soft, and everything is so beautiful about this book. I love it. And I'm actually, because I read it, I've been reading it on my online Kindle account. I'm already there, so this is all that's left from this edition. But not going to lie, I think I may have to read this whole thing again, but I'm gonna do that at some point. But I thought I was just gonna read it while I wait for people to come in, and then if I catch something that we can use here and chat and discuss, then I can use it and we can talk about it. No, but it's not like that. She just switched me. She didn't give me my Monday back. It's just then I'm off on Tuesday. She didn't give me my extra. She didn't give me my day back. She just switched me. While they were struggling as fuck with being able to, schedule waitresses and everything, they didn't have enough. They had all this, so now they hired like 4 new people or something like that. So stupid, They could have saved themselves so much trouble and time if they would not be so like childish and immature and petty about something that I didn't do, or what I still don't even know why I don't work Mondays anymore, or why I have one less shift. Nobody ever told me anything. Like, I don't know anything. So it's like they could have saved themselves a lot of trouble if they would have just put me on the fucking schedule. But whatever. So now it's like, it's irritating because the first week this happened where she scheduled me Monday and then had me off Tuesday again. I asked her, I said, honestly, if I'm only going to have the 3 shifts, I really would prefer that I keep my Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and not work Monday. And then she told me that it was like she had to do it like that because she was struggling to find somebody to work on the Monday, and that it will be put back in how it was before the week after. And I was like, okay. And then so the week after it was, and then it was flipped again, and then this week it was flipped again too. And it's like, okay, so you're still having trouble. why aren't you putting me on my Tuesday and Monday? What is the problem? It's so fucking childish. Like, it just makes me laugh. Yeah, it just makes me laugh. It's so fucking... It's pretty much every restaurant I've ever worked in is like, it's like high school. And think me and you actually talked about that. It's like high school, and these people have mentally never left that high school mentality, literally, you know? It's about little bullying, little backstabbing, little gossiping, blah, 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 you know, being happy about other people's misery, you know, stealing the boyfriends, you know, like all that little fucking childish shit. And I'm just like, okay, whatever, man. You don't want me to work? You don't want me to work? I'm here. This is my job, you know. Hey, Meryl, how are you? Haven't seen you in a minute. Yeah. How are you doing? Good. Would you like to... Hi, Guy. Are you waking up right now? Are you waking up right now, my guy? I love this guy. He is so handsome. Stretchy man? Are you a stretchy man? You're a stretchy man. Oh. Oh, okay. That's really crazy because I haven't been remembering my dreams recently. But just the other day, was it today? Yeah, it was actually today. I woke up and I remembered my dream, and I dreamed about a spider, and it was so bad because, like, spiders gross me out. I will not kill them, you know, but they make me, like, nauseous, and they just make me really grossed out. I hate that I feel like that about them, but I really just do. I always have. But not when they're, like, little, but when they're, like, bigger. You know, I'm like, oh, I get so grossed out by them. So I had a dream about that, but I also dreamed about, like, being on a vacation with my old best friend and some other people. But it was, like, a vacation, and it was so weird because we were, like, away from civilization. And it was like a mountain, but it was like a totally on top of a mountain we were, but there was a lake there where people could swim. This is not the first time I've dreamed of this surrounding, but it was super dry and sandy, and like the stones were like really flat everywhere. It almost had like this feel of like a volcano, like we were on top of a volcano, you know. And there were other people, and it was a normal thing, and I was just looking around like, it's kind of weird because it wasn't beautiful or anything. It was just like dry, deserted. I was like, all right, whatever. And we went there, and you know, we kept on talking about, yeah, the town is like an hour away. So if you want to go into town, we're going to have to drive an hour and stuff. And I'm like, well, I would like to go into town tonight and drink, you know, and do some stuff. And it was like, okay. And then we went into town, and the town looked like my hometown, downtown. And I was like, oh, this is cool. You know, it was like a German-style city. And we were drinking. And then I got into it with my friends somehow. And they were, like, really rude to me. They were, like, laughing at me about stuff or whatever. Kind of picking on me, bullying me. And I walked off. And it was so bad because I was, you know, I could not go home. This was not my car. I don't have a driver's license. In my dream, my mom was alive, and I talked to my mom, I guess, on the phone, or my brother, like, I don't know what to do. Somebody's got to come pick me up or whatever. Yeah, and I walked off, and then my old best friend found me. She was all drunk, and she was like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, you guys are talking shit and treating me like shit. I'm walking away, you know, whatever. And they're like, okay, well, whatever. Then stay here. And they just fucking abandoned me in this town that I don't know where the fuck I was even in the world. Literally. It was like not even just like, oh, I'm in Florida still or something. No. I had no idea where I was on the planet. It was really weird. And then the other dream was just about a fucking spider that I guess I tried to vacuum away, and it got out of the vacuum and jumped on me or some shit. It's really weird. But yeah, so that's been on my mind today, because I think this is something. I don't think this was just a dream. I do think it's some sort of a vision, because I can feel the difference. Because there's something about the terrain of this vacation domicile that gave me this feeling something was up. Okay. Yeah, it was so weird. It was so weird. Okay, let's do this, Meryl. I really do want to know what that could be. You think it's about a job that you want? Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say this right now. If you pull the Three of Pentacles, that's gonna be wow if that happens, like in a good way. Okay, so let's check. Let's see. Okay, so we get the Hierophant here inverted. Unsure how that relates to your dream. This is talking about unorthodox ways, poor advice, and impotence in that sense. Okay, so ah, it's I cannot relate this to this job or this dream, to be honest with you. This has something to do with either somebody around you is working in unorthodox ways and giving you poor advice and are impotent in a sense, or it's you that works in unorthodox ways. If I were to relate it to the dream that you had, I would say that the dream itself is unorthodox in a sense. Yeah, it's like somebody may be giving you advice that's not. No, I'm just saying, like, it may not be related to any job or anything like that. It could be somebody else that you know, somebody in your family or something that's giving you poor advice in that sense. Or you yourself are telling yourself something that's not really applicable, and that's not really, something of real value, okay? Let me move forward, because I am a little bit confused with this card here. Okay. No connections. I cannot place this still, but this is very good. The Wheel of Fortune. So this makes me think that you may be really lucky in getting this job. You may be scoring this job. But, however, the point of this card is that, good fortune, destiny, fate, and chance and unplanned happenings is occurring. Okay, a good thing, a change in your life into something good. Okay, you're scoring in a sense. Could be financially, could be with a job, could be with a relationship, could be with anything. Something good is happening in your life, or is going to happen in your life. So that's really good. This is one of the best cards to have, because that's just all around. Your fate will be in your favor. So that's really good. Still cannot really place this card. Not gonna lie. I don't lie. I'm very honest and open, and sometimes it does happen that it's just, I don't know. Let me move forward. Yeah, that, oh my God, these two together, that's really good. So the Six of Swords here, this is really good. So this is describing how you're very, like, oftentimes you find yourself in bad situations, but you're very good at leaving these bad situations and entering good ones. Okay. This is also talking about a journey. So now that really makes me think even more so that you're going to be getting this job, because this will be a start for you of a journey, getting this job. Okay. So I think that you will be getting this job. um Okay, Promethea, no problem, no problem. Thank you. In hangman position, got you, gotcha. Yeah, sometimes that'll happen like that, and you have to like kind of make yourself adjust rather quickly to the situation. Yes, but yeah, this is really good. Okay, so this is talking about a journey, and this is talking about leaving bad situations and entering good ones, which makes me believe that you are, you will be entering a good situation, which makes me believe that that will be you getting this position that you're looking for. As I'm seeing this here, I think this is related to some sort of person that's around your aura, and that's not really helpful to you, that's giving you poor advice. Some sort of entity, maybe something in the back of your head, somebody or something that's influencing you, telling you work in unorthodox ways. That's more and more what I'm leaning toward. So don't let anybody manipulate you. That's pretty much all I can um, say. But these are really good cards. So destiny is on your side, fate is on your side, and leaving bad situations and entering good ones, that's really good. Okay, so yeah, yeah, so that concludes you, Mara. That's a good reading. That's really, that was kind of like a clear cut reading about that. Either way, even if you don't get that job, remember the Wheel of Fortune card. You will wheel, fortune will come to you, and fate will be in your favor, if you will. So do not be alarmed. So sorry, guys. I am tired today because today was one of these days I was busy all day, but it was not like crazy busy, but it was like I was doing stuff all day long, all day long, all the way to the very end. I'm like tired. You're welcome, Meryl. Thank you so much for coming in. It's been a while, and I'm glad to see you. And I'm glad you're doing well, and looking for work, and interested in getting a new position and stuff. That's good. That's progress. Anything that we do new, that helps us in our development in any way, financially or whatever. That's progress. So I'm glad. I'm really hoping that you will, get that position, and that things, well, we can already know things will be looking up, but if you really want to get this position, then I really hope for you that you do, because you deserve it. Um, you're from a wasteland? What wasteland? Where's that at? It's a teenage wasteland. No, I really do want to know, though. I forget. I'm sure you've told me in the past, but I have many people in here, so I do forget sometimes where everybody's from. But yeah, where are you from again? Oh, sorry. Oh. Wake up. Bah. What state do you live in? I'm in Florida, personally. Not, not my cup of tea, if I may say so. Oklahoma. I've never been there, granted, but communication is very open nowadays, and we can know that Oklahoma is one of those, like, there's nothing there. Nobody really wants to live there. Oh man, you gotta get out of there. So sorry, jeez. Yeah, I do hear things about it for sure. That sucks. Very cheap is good. That does really help, you know. That really does. That's one of the things, because expenses is just what often kills your whole life. So not really having that problem is very attractive to consider, because I don't know. But yeah, I hate Florida. I would not recommend anybody living here. It's not nice. It sucks here, straight up. Not going to lie. People here are all methed out and right wing, and just, it's awful. But at the moment, I am not financially stable enough to say, okay, I'm gonna make a move. You know, I wish it were that easy, but it definitely is not. So Florida is crazy. Florida is crazy. I'm not from here. It was really by chance that I came here. Not me, even personally. I was made to come here. I didn't have a choice. I didn't want to come here. But my mother moved here, so I had to come. And it is literally in the last few years I've really noticed that really the scum of the U.S. gathers here. They all come here. Like, everybody's from somewhere else here. Nobody's from Florida, and it's like, people think they can. The people that move here, they're all meth heads. They're running away from their problems in other states, and it's like they think they can come here and just live a life in paradise, and on the beach with fucking palm trees and the ocean and sand. And it's like, dude, if anything, you got to work harder here in Florida than anywhere else. So your meth head needs to just stay wherever you came from, because you're not going to make it here. You're going to completely fail here. And it's just, I don't know. I can't stand it. But, yeah, what can we do, It could always be better, but it could always be worse, So I have a nice home. I got it. I got an okay job. I got my brother here. I got my animals. I have many nice things, and I don't have to work like extensive hours at a job that I don't really like, in order to pay my bills. I do this here rather trying to make a living a little bit more with this, so I can make this my full-time gig, and then I'll be happy. Oh man, educational system in Florida is completely broken. There's nothing. It's like, when we moved here from the US, my mother was very adamant toward me. When we moved here from Germany to the US, my mother said, enrolling. I was done with school, and she was enrolling my brother in like middle school, high school, and she told me, she said, if he brings home bad grades, we have to make do with that for a minute, because it's a new country, new language. It takes a while to adjust, etc., etc. And literally, my brother was in school his first year, and he got his first report card, and he had nothing but A's and B's. And Mom was like, "Oh my God!" And she was like, "You really managed that, didn't you?" And my brother was like, "The school here is a joke compared to Germany." And we were all, and it was literally like the three of us were just laughing our ass off. And my mom was like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad because I was very afraid that it was going to be hard for you." My brother's like, "No, it's not hard at all." So you can know, because in Europe we're really drilled like our education is like military style. Like if you don't have this, we learn like fucking 4 or 5 different topics in math in 1 year, where Americans do like 2 different topics. Like they'll do like algebra and they do like geometry, right? Those are the 2 things that you have to learn the whole year. And it's like in Germany, it's like algebra, geometry, fucking bam, 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 5 more topics in math. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard, but it's good because we come out of school, rather educated persons, and we're able to establish our life in that way and become very successful people. But we also have our teachers are way more educated than American teachers. Our teachers are not just educated as teachers; they're also educated very much when it comes to the social aspect of being a teacher. They're a guardian too. They have every single teacher in Germany has to have a background or degree in like social studies, maybe even psychology, depending. So they're very much involved with the children. Like they know signs of mental problems and all of that stuff. They know how to really handle children, not just teach them like learn this stuff, and if you can't, they will really, they are more involved. So it's a different world. Certain things are really different, of course, in other areas of the world, and that's just normal. And some things are really the same, but not many, but yeah. So I am glad that I got my education from in Europe, because it's like, I converse with people all the time, because I work in the service industry and I know people and stuff. And I am so surprised how many times I will tell somebody, we talk about a topic and I have knowledge on it, and I say that sentence, and the person will be like, "Oh wow, that's really interesting. Where did you learn that?" I'm like, "I actually learned that in high school." I say this all the time. I learned that in high school. I learned it in high school. I have never heard an American say, "I've learned this in high school." And it's like, it's pretty much like, I learned things in high school, I learned things from reading, and I learned things from my mom. Those are my 3 sources, and that's always been, and yeah. But it is really true that oftentimes I'm like, I learned that in high school. I was taught and it's the weirdest things sometimes. Sometimes it's really the weirdest things where like, you learned that in high school, and it's like, yeah, I did actually. I can't really come up with an example now, but it's kind of funny and it's kind of cool, because then it's like, okay, I guess the education was important and worth it, regardless. As a teenager, I'm like, I didn't care. It's stuck in there. Yeah, it's stuck in there, but I was like, fuck it. My grades were shitty. I was lazy because I was busy being an athlete, and boys, hearts in my eyes for boys. And being an athlete, that's all I cared about. School? I don't give a shit about school. I'm gonna be a professional team handball player. That was my attitude. Fucking, oh my god. I was a fucking hooligan, beating up kids, mean, and oh my god. But, it is what it is. Oh, wow, that's young though. 4 years? You were 4 years old? Who did that? A teacher? Don't tell me a teacher did that. Please don't tell me that. Oh, okay, I see. 4 years old, jeez. Your parents weren't there with you? I was not at anybody's home without my parents at that age. No way. I really do come from a very cradled childhood, very stable and very. My parents had, we were very wealthy. We were the wealthiest family where I lived in the town that I pretty much lived in. We were literally the only family that would travel to the U.S. every year. You know what I mean? Like, really. I mean, oh, okay, I got you. I got you. I just like had always like this bad to the bone, kind of attitude, and I would sneak, you know, I would never sneak out, but when I was outside playing, I would sneak into these bad areas where the people that sought asylum in Germany, that they would dwell there. A lot of Turkish people, a lot of Italians, Russians, and shit, Albanians, and I'd go there, and that's where a lot of like crimes happen, a lot of drugs, a lot of stuff like that. And I was little, but I was taught early on by these older kids all about the bad stuff, and I got myself just kind of involved in that lifestyle, cliques, gangs, all that nonsense. As a very young child, um, fucking sneaking. My mom would work. My dad and mom both worked, and I would be coming home from school, and then I would go outside and I would play after, I do my homework, and I'd be playing with all these older kids, and they'd be like, we want to buy cigarettes. And I'm like, I know where my mom keeps her spare change. Go and get your mom's spare change. And I would like steal all my mom's spare change, and then we'd go to the store and they'd buy cigarettes, and you know, bad. And I was like, where did my change go? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Yeah, I mean, I was bad. I really I did start smoking, the ganja before I started smoking cigarettes. I was 13 and I had my first joint, on a playground with my best friend at the time. Her name was Linda, and we were hiding in one of those houses on the playground, and we were smoking it. I'm like, this feels so great. I feel so great. She's like, me too. I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. Yeah, and then a year later, I started smoking cigarettes, and smoked cigarettes for 15 years. And I quit when my father passed from lung cancer. I quit. And weed, I smoked for a long time, a lot. When I was in Germany, a lot. The weed in Germany that's proper. That's really good. It makes you feel only good. It doesn't give you anxiety. It doesn't make you lazy. It just makes you feel good. I don't know how else to describe it. At least that's at the time I was smoking it. That's how it was. And then when I moved here, it was really like I really just kind of cut everything out because it was a new country, and I was like, okay, I have to be really cautious. I don't know what I'm getting myself into here in the U.S., so I didn't smoke for the longest time, and then I started smoking a little bit again. Cigarettes always, but I started smoking weed a little bit again, a little more, and then a little less. And now it's like very little. It's like a hit, just a little hit once a day. That's all. That's all. And I like my little drinky poo. You guys see me, but nothing. And cigarettes, no, done. No more cigarettes for me. Miss them every day, granted, but. Oh my god. Oh, trust me, man. Hi, Emily, by the way. Welcome in. Oh, trust me. I was not. Snacks were not allowed. Literally. Like, it was. My brother and I would fucking sneak into the kitchen while our parents would be in the living room watching some movie or something. We'd sneak in there. And I'd like lift my brother up onto the counter to open the cupboard to get like chips or cookies or chocolate out of there and shit, right? And then suddenly, all of a sudden, you hear no sound. And you're like, fuck. Mom just muted the TV. Jennifer? And it's like, yeah? What are you doing? Nothing? And my brother would jump down and we'd fucking run up the stairs into our room. No, because it was like my mom was always like really weird about weight with me. She wasn't like that with my brother, but with me it was always like, like, I need to watch your weight. You need to watch your weight. And it was always like, you can't eat chocolate. Now you can't eat this. So I think this kind of like a little bit damaging, and I don't think she realized that, but it was a little bit damaging because nowadays it's really hard for me. Like I have a really hard time. I have to always control what I eat because I'm always hungry. I always want to eat. I'm always like, this is delicious. I want to eat it. I want to eat it. And I think it's a side effect of mentally, because of how she always forbade me to eat dinner and shit. Never the meals, she'd cook lunch, she'd cook dinner and all that. Never like that. I could eat as much as I want there. But when it comes to in between, she was not really allowing me to do that. And yeah, it sucks, but it's okay. I understood what she was trying to do. She was really trying to prevent me from becoming overweight, and it is what it is. And I'm handling it. There's definitely way worse. And it's also, I don't eat like if I had just, I exercise every day, but if I had even more exercise, then things would be a lot different anyway, So I'm not super worried about it. But yeah, so yeah, I understand that feeling. Like I was not allowed to like do none of that shit, sneak food and. But I'd do that in the middle of the night. I'd get up and fucking sneak down there. But my parents would always fucking hear those stairs, always. And they'd be like, "What are you doing?" "Nothing. I'm thirsty." "No, you're not. And they knew. I don't know how, but my parents always knew everything about me. It's so weird. But my mom was a disciplinary one. My dad was the fun dad, It was always fun with dad. But mom was the one that always had to be the bad guy. And she hated it. She always said that. And she always told my dad, too. She's like, "Why do I always have to be the bad guy?" But that's what I love my mom for, because it's like, it showed like her strength, that she, even so she wanted to let her kids, do everything, she still made herself discipline us, also out of love. My mom was the strongest person in the world, and yeah, so it's fine. Oh, what? You were 4 or 5? Oh, no. But only for 15 minutes. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. For 15 minutes? I had to stay longer in my room, man. My mom would tell me, like, "Now go to your room and think about what you did." Not in that tone, but, she would say, "Go to your room and think about what you did." And then I would come out of my... Yeah, at that time, it'll feel like that. It'll feel like super horrendous. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and then I would come out of my room and come downstairs, and I'd, like, walk slowly into the living room. Mom sit there with her feet crossed and her arms crossed watching TV, and she's like, "What do you want?" "Did you think about what you did?" "Yeah, I'm sorry." "Okay." Oh my god, my mom was so bashful. Like, no, bashful. I was bashful, but she was like, what would be the word? Like, I don't know. She was so grouchy. Like, she would always give me really this look like, I can't even do it. I gotta laugh. That's so fucked up. She was really just like so, anything my mom said and did, it impacted me on such a great scale that I really realized later in life, when you are more conscious of things around you and about everything, I really realized that, like, other kids were never, at least the ones that I knew, were never that affected by what their parents said or did to them. Never. I never met any kids that were as like, they're like, I would talk to them like, "Why are you so, like, affected by what, who cares?" And it's like, "Nah, man, you don't understand." Like, I don't know. My mom had this, like, aura about her that would just, like, come out of there. And she was never aggressive, mean. My parents never laid a hand on me, ever. Not even a fucking pinky, nothing. My dad was the one with the scare tactics. My dad would scare the shit out of me in a mean way. My mom would scare the shit out of me too, but in a different way. But it was like my mom always had this stern. Yeah, it was so stern that it was like, it made you think that you need to talk more to your mom. You need to. You need to, really. You do. You do. I'm telling you, you do. Now, she always had this sternness about her. It made me think she was like this hyper power being, like a queen, you know? Like, it was so, I don't know why I always felt that way about her, but I always did, and it always, like, made me feel so bad. But sometimes my mom sometimes could be very hurtful too. Sometimes she would say really hurtful things to me, like she was bad with the words sometimes, you know. But oh yeah, she was fucking like sometimes. But my dad though, but it's okay, you know, because it's like I really was a bad kid oftentimes. I really did push my mom to the fucking limit with shit, you know? So it's like, you know, when she says things like, what did I do wrong? Why did you turn out like that? You know? But it made me feel so... But it's like, now when I think about it, it's like hurtful, but when she said that back in the day, it just made me fucking angry. Like, it made me so angry that she said that, you know? But my dad was the one... You guys can't even believe. I've told you guys before. My dad was like a fucking big, muscly man, right? And he was like Rocky Balboa. Literally, that's how my dad acted. That's how he was, with the lip like this. It's okay, honey. That's how he talked to me. You know, he always had the Serbian accent, speaking German with a Serbian accent, you know. Oh. Well, maybe not now. Try again now. Oh, no. Why'd she say that? I don't like that. That's not nice. But yeah, my dad was the one with scare tactics. I will never forget. Good example. My brother, and I always like talking when my brother is involved, because Emily, you know us both. You know my brother and you know me from the streams, at least, you know. And it's like, so my brother and I, we'd have fucking, you know, we have our set. So it was like, upstairs were the bedrooms. 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. And it was like, you walk up the stairs, and then like right to your left or front or both even, it's like a closet or whatever. And then you go to like this. And then on the left side is my bedroom. Across from that bedroom is the bathroom. Next to my bedroom, kind of, a little bit further down, is my parents' bedroom. And then at the end of that wall, next to my parents' bedroom, is my brother's bedroom. So, it was tricky. My brother and I, we would have signs like, shine, like, I was like, okay, Kevin, shine your light 2 times in your room if you're still awake. And I'll come in and we'll play, like, Mario Kart or whatever on the Super Nintendo, because his game console, yeah, he always had like the Super Nintendo in his room and shit like that, and I had like the PlayStation in my room or whatever. I was the older sister, you know. So it was like, I would open the door, you know, parents were in bed, or parents were downstairs rather. It was usually when they were still downstairs and we were already in bed. So then I would open the door and I would look right when they had put us both in bed, and I'd look. And then my brother would shine a light, or he would do whatever fucking sign we had. And that was only sometimes. That wasn't all the time. Other times it would just like occur or whatever. I would see my brother moving around in there. I would look and I'd see Kevin moving around in there. I'm like, oh, okay, I can go. And then I'd go over there and then I'd go and close the door real quick. And it's like, okay, they don't know I'm here, right? But then we'd fucking be doing some shit. And then they would hear us. Okay, and then that was always the gag. It was always the fun. Well, that was kind of funny then, but it was kind of scary too. So it was always like, if mom is coming, who cares, right? Not that big of a deal. But if dad's coming, oh shit. So it's like we would do something, and then oh shit, they noticed. They heard us. They heard that the noise that we were producing was not just one person sleeping. They know something is up. And then either you hear the stairs, right? You either hear like running up there fast. Oh, it's mom. Oh, okay, whatever. she's just gonna go to your room and go to sleep. Okay. But if it was dad, though, right? And it wasn't like that all the time, but if this was like the third time now at that evening that he has caught us already, now he's mad. And now my dad's coming up the stairs and be like, and I'm like, Kevin, it's dad. And he's like, oh, crap. It's like, oh, shit, it's dad. And my dad, that's the scare tactic right here. My dad had like, what is it called in English? It's a medical thing with the teeth where you have a receding gum line, which unfortunately through genes I have that too, but mine is slower progressing because I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. But it's periodontosis, is what is in German. I think it's the same word in English. And so, but my dad's teeth were really bad. His gums were really bad, so he had like really bad teeth. He got that all done later on in life. He got all that out and get brand new teeth and stuff. But my father was very good at fucking using that shit. And he fucking would open the door. And he would open the door so fast that the wind would blow into our faces. Into my brother and my face. My hair would fly back. He's like, whew, and then he would be like, what are you guys doing? Like that. And we were like, ah! That's all he did. And it scared us to death because my father could look so fucking scary. And then it was over. It was like, I'm crying. My brother wasn't really crying. My brother was like hard as fuck. You know what I mean? My brother just sit there like, fuck. And I'd be like, crying. And I'd run into my room and shit. And I was like, oh my god, my dad hates me. But it was like that. He just like, with the fucking door, like, whew, and my hair's like slinging back, and I'm like, oh my god, scary. My dad was scary when he was angry, man. No, because like when he had enough, he had enough, and it was like that. Like I was so like, I respected my parents, and they were able to really like kind of scare me without having to use any physical force, and yeah, it's good. I think it's good, because it was never then that I thought of my dad as a monster, anything like that at all, because I know that wasn't my dad. But I knew in that moment he was pissed. He was pissed off and he wanted us to fucking stop, and it's like, oh my god. And yeah. Oh my god, stomp on you? No. I'm sorry. That's not good. I'm sorry that happened to you. That's so fucking unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. I don't know. That whole thing, being raised, parents, that's all tricky, I'm not even a parent myself. I don't know. But I think I really do think I gotta say, I tell you guys, my father was not really a very present father for half of my life, I'd say, or more than half almost now. He did try kind of, we talked every Sunday at least, once a week we talked. So that was okay. But, he did a lot of things wrong. And I know he knew that. And I know he'd admit that today. But I really do have to say that when it comes to, like, the essence of raising my brother and I, my parents were really good. Like, they were a team. They never contradicted each other, and they never hurt us physically, and they really disciplined us in other ways, because granted, we were a little spoiled, we had TVs. I had a TV in my room from the year one when I was born. I had a TV in my room. I had my own room with a TV in it, but which wasn't used, but it was already ready for me for when I'm like, whatever, 6, 7 years old. Always had a TV, all of that, game consoles, everything. But it really was like, if you are acting up, game console, no, you're not playing. We're going to sit down and study. And my mom was a tutorer, too. My mother was, she had went to college. She had multiple education backgrounds in math, mathematics, biology, all of that stuff so she could sit there with me and tutor me. She's like, you're sitting with me here for 3 hours and we're going to do that. We're going to study and you're not playing your video game. And there was no ifs, ands, and buts about it, you know. And yeah, so it was like once in a while, like, if you don't want to eat your food, you sit there. Everybody's done eating, you keep sitting there, you know. And it's like, hey, Jay, how are you? Oh no, Meryl, no, no. Yeah, well, was Jesus there? No. No, that's all fucking horrible. That's horrible. It's abuse, is what it is. It's fucking abuse. I'm good. I'm very good. Yeah, yeah, but you know, I would act up. My mother would say, "Sit on the stairs," you know, on the stairs leading up to the, you know, while my family is laughing, doing cool things. I had to now sit on the stairs for 30 minutes, and I cannot move. I mean, there were times where literally I was so, you know, whatever. My dad would hold me there and just hold me. And you sit here. I don't want, no, and you sit here. Like, and there was no, you know, when my father has his hands around me as a little girl, like, it's like a stone is on me. Like, I cannot move, you know, but never violently, never. That was never a thing in our family. My mother never screamed. My dad never screamed. Even when he did that mad thing, it was never screaming. That was never a thing. Even between the two of them, because, you know, at the end, of course, when they got divorced and everything, there were, you know, we could hear them discussing and kind of like arguing a little bit here and there, but never screaming, never violence, never, none of that. And I'm grateful, because I know that many others have it not as good as my brother and I had it, you know. And I will always be grateful for both of my parents to have, because I know that will take me a long way in my life. That you know, I was not exposed to abuse like that, because that's fundamental disturbance in your psyche. It really is, you know. Is it from your parents or even your foster parents or any other family member or anything like that? As a child, you are most impressionable, and you will carry this around for the rest of your life in some way, you know. And maybe transfer this on to your children later on in life, you know. And it's just really not, it's not ideal at all. You know, it's the opposite. Yeah, and you know, this is a problem oftentimes, because it's like, if religion rules your life, whatever religion it may be, it, it's kind of deemed to poison it from the inside out, because a religion is not something that will help you. Because a religion is always in general terms, I'd say, you know, but every family, every child is different, has different needs, has different, you know, feelings, different way of doing things. You cannot apply, just simply slap religion on it and let it do its thing. It doesn't work like that. It just makes things worse. It makes things worse. It confuses things for the child too. It's just never good. It's never good. And that was the good thing too. I was never, religion was never a thing. I went into a Catholic after school program for a couple of months so I can get my first communion. Truth is, first communion, because I was christened Catholic. First communion is, I know, because they themselves, you know, it's generational. Their parents did it, you know what I mean? But I was christened, And only because it was a tradition. It had really nothing to do with any religious orientation. It was tradition. It was also, I was christened. You know why? Because that kindergarten was the closest to my home, and it was the most convenient for my parents to pick me up and drop me off, and I could only enter there if I was christened Catholic. That's why my parents did it. So then the communion part was I had to go to this after school fucking Catholic school thing for a little while so I can get my first communion, which was at 13 or 14. You get your first communion where you get the body of Christ and the blood of Christ and all that bullshit. And the big thing, I don't know how it is here in the US, but the big thing it is with your first communion in Germany, it's like the whole family comes to the party. It's like a huge party. The whole family comes, and the child gets a lot of money. That is the biggest thing. The family's supposed to bring money. This is like this unspoken rule. Everybody brings money, and that's the only reason why my parents did it. So not for them to get money, but literally for me, so I can get money, so they can put this aside for me for the future, and that was it. And that was it. Now, my dad had a little bit of an emotional thing there. I think attachment because of his Serbian Orthodox, how he was raised. He got really drunk that night at the party. And at night, he came in my room and I'm sleeping. And he was drunk and he was so happy. He was like, honey, I'm so proud of you. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Daddy is so proud. And he was like so happy and all drunky and like this. And it's like, oh God, Dad, your religious fucking orientation is coming through. But I'm like 13, 14. I'm like, thanks, Dad. And then he left the room and I was like, oh my God. I was like, what the fuck? But I think my mom never knew about that. And I think, like, I don't know if I ever told I think I told my mom about it. But I think if I did tell her, she probably just rolled her eyes or something, But, my parents were never religious like that. It was never like that. It was like, I think I told you guys this story before. One of those funny stories is like we had a family gathering. Not just family, but friends too. My parents like to party and do all that, not party drinking is what I mean when I say party. Have friends over and have a few drinks. So we had a bunch of people over, and I remember I was a little girl. And my dad was always kind of the center of attention. My mom and dad were always the center of attention all the time. And it was like, okay, I had my little big mouth, and I don't know, I was like maybe 6 or something. And I fucking looked at some point, I just kind of looked at my dad, and I was like, Dad, why don't you believe in God? And I just wanted to know, right? Because I knew it was super official that my parents were atheists. I didn't believe in any of that shit, And everybody went silent. And it wasn't like because most of my parents' friends and most of the family was the same way. It wasn't like, oh my God. No. It was just like, what's Dragan gonna say? Like, let's see what he's gonna say. And it was so funny. He's like, come here, honey. Come here. And he put me on his lap or something. I cannot remember super in detail, but I remember exactly what he said. And I was sitting on his lap. I can remember that. But he said, honey, you know why Daddy doesn't believe in God? I said, why, Dad? He says, because I am God. And everybody started laughing their ass off, and it was like, one of those things. And I was like, oh, Dad, come on. It was funny. My parents were funny, and they had fun, and they weren't fucking holding themselves back by this religious shit, Let me read all that, sorry. Wow, they really wanted to let their fucking manliness out on you, huh? Fucking marrow. Bullshit. Yeah, exactly, Promethean. Do religion. It's more convenient. Yeah. That really is abuse, marrow. That's fucking Prometheus, right? That's fucking bullshit. bullshit. Dude, I'm sorry that happened to you. Oh my god. Horrible, man. I don't know how anybody can be like this, man. I don't understand it. I never will. Because regardless of what I always tell you guys about, my feelings toward people in general, it's like, when I was a teenager, I was very violent, very, toward other people, even adults, whatever. I was violent. I didn't care. But that streak quickly left me when I turned like 18, moved to US. Things really changed in me, and I have never really had that desire anymore to be violent like this, only, for defensive purposes. Um, and that tells me that now I'm an adult. That tells me that I'm really not naturally a violent person. It was my, puberty. It was also frustration. My parents separated, divorced. It was a hard time for me, emotionally and stuff. Not an excuse, but an explanation, I would say, probably, why I let this out on other people, because I couldn't really let it out on anybody else. Um, but now as an adult, I'm not violent by any means, it's not for me anymore. I'm a street fighter, if you will. If I have to get physical, then the other person will lose. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who it is. Because I come from that. I was taught that. My father come from the streets of Leskovac in Serbia. If you have any idea what this town is like, the town of Leskovac in Serbia, my father taught me all the tricks. My father explained all the things to me. And I experienced them myself on a little bit of a lower scale in Germany, when I got myself into trouble. But it's like... It's like, for the people I love, I will do great and terrible things. But for me, it's also a territorial thing. I'm very much like very primal in when this overflows in me. It's like, you don't have to be my friend, but you can only stand in the vicinity of me and have been kind or nice to me that evening, and I will protect you, and I will defend you, and yeah. So it is like, when these things happen, it is most of the times really advisable that nobody tries to stop me, because it's not going to work, But fortunately, that hasn't happened in many years. I haven't been in this situation in many years. Last time was with my ex-boyfriend, that I literally had. I it was a fight, and he tried to choke me, and he tried to, whatever he tried to do, he grabbed my hair and lifted me up by my hair. This man is 6'2", 235 pounds, pure muscle, former Marine. The man was crazy, and he wanted to harm me, and I had to do something, and I knocked him out. I hit him one time as hard as I could, and he dropped. But then he got up a little while later, and then I got pummeled, but he looked way worse than me the next day. Everybody was laughing about him. My shit was black right here. That's all I had. And his whole side of the face was blue and black. And everybody was like, what did you do to... And of course, because he was this charismatic actor, everybody's like, oh my God, he's such a nice guy. Oh my God. All the women wanted him. He was always sweet and nice, always smiling. This little smile. And I am the way I am. Everybody's like, what did you do to him? What did you do? I'm like... Just don't. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know who this man is at all. Not at all. And I would call him out in front of people too. You know, you try to kill me. You know, you beat me in the head. You slapped me. You choked me. Yeah, I've done that. Horrible things. Well, good. Glad we know that. That was the last time where I got physical. I think, was that the last time? Yeah, pretty sure it was the last time. Yeah. Nothing else ever happened. I'm really sorry too, Mara. That is not. I understand why you don't speak to your mother now. And I agree that you don't speak to your mother because she really just does not deserve it. Oh, hi, Catnap. How are you? Nice to meet you, too. Well, they both sound like abusive persons, and stay away from them. That's all I gotta say. They're not good people. They were not disciplining you, they were abusing you. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. That is the same difference. And people need to really learn that. Abuse and discipline, two different things. Also, respect and fear, two different things. They have nothing to do with each other. They can appear on the surface the same. Fundamentally, they're completely different things. To fear somebody versus to respect somebody are very two different things. And to discipline somebody and to abuse somebody, very different things. And I think that it gets very wishy-washy with people. I think that they're so wrapped up in their own mental struggles that they cannot even tell the difference anymore. And the unfortunate part is that these people have children, and then they project this onto their own children. This behavior, you know. Yeah, yeah. Because you cannot sit here and tell me drilling somebody, making a child feel mentally horrible or physically horrible is discipline. No. Because it has to be connected to an explanation too. And if the punishment does not fit the crime and cannot be explained as such, it's abuse. You have to explain to your child. My mother always did. My mother did that like in the beginning of disciplining me. And then later on, she didn't explain it anymore because I already knew what it meant. And it was like, Jennifer, do you know why I'm doing this? Well, because I did this and this. Yes, and you have to learn that you cannot do this and that you need to, whatever. It depends on the circumstance. But it was always like it had to be, you have to explain to your child so that the child understands. Just mercilessly beating your child, that's just going to, digress. If anything, it's just like you have a dog that you constantly abuse, and at some point the dog will bite back. That will fucking happen. And because then it's over, this close and not any closer, and it's the same with the child. You abuse the child, so that kind of behavior now becomes nature in the child's head, and then when they grow to an adult, they will most likely project that same onto their children. Now, of course, you got also the opposite, which I'm very grateful to know that this happens. I have met many abuse victims that were abused by their parents as children that have taken this in because they're intelligent enough to understand, and they have taken this in and taken it in as they will never do that to their children because they realize how much they actually suffered and how much they were abused. But that takes a little bit of a higher intelligence, somebody that maybe a little bit of a, kind of like a simpler nature, they may not really kind of connect the dots like that. My mother was the best example. My grandparents were, well, I never met any of my grandfathers. And I only met my grandmother on my dad's side one time. But my grandmother on my mom's side, I spent my first 6 years of my life with her. I mean, with my family. She was alive. My grandmother was the best to me. She always, like, my mom always said that when I was born, it was like I was her god. Her god was actually born. Like, to my grandmother, was like I was the Messiah in a sense. That's how she treated me. That's how she kind of looked at me. So it was like she treated me this way. But she was very abusive toward my mom when my mom was younger. Very. Literally breaking a broomstick on my mom's back because she had bad grades. It was bad. It was very bad physical abuse by my grandmother. And my mom always excused it that my grandmother became a mother too early in her life. She was too young. And that was the problem. But either way, my father, abused by teachers in school with like getting hit with the fucking, he would tell me about that, the ruler on his finger by the teachers in his school. This was normal, in these times, in the 70s, in the 60s, and the 70s. It was normal. And so because it was so ingrained in my parents' brain, they knew that they will never do that to their kids. And so luckily, I ended up with parents like that. I could have ended up with the total difference, and that they would have so, like, internalized this abuse that they understood this as the righteous and normal thing to do, and they would have projected it onto me. So I like, people always think that, oh, it's all about what choices you make and how you deal with. No. A lot of it has to do with luck and circumstances and fate. If fate put you there, it put you there. And if it didn't, it didn't. It doesn't always mean that you're at fault. I hate when people always say, you make your own life. You determine your own life. If you're broke, well, work. No, it's not like that, man. If it were that easy, like, things would be that easy. It isn't. Some of us get dealt some shit fucking cards, man. And to no fault of their own. And that's the fucking truth. You can be rich, you can be intelligent, you can be stupid, you can be poor. It doesn't matter. You can be put in a circumstance that is completely out of your control, and you're fucked. And I don't care what people say. It's not your fault. That happens to way more people in the world than people understand. Oh my god, dude. No, it is, I do think it's helpful in a sense, if you have, maybe experienced some struggles in your life, some tougher times. This is too much. This is too much. This is unnecessary, Mara. You know what I mean? Like, but I do think it's helpful if you've lived on both ends. Like I always tell you guys, I've had a very good and good background and wealth and I was also homeless 3 or 4 times. I've seen this. I've seen both sides. I've been homeless in 2 countries, 2 different countries. It really does put things in perspective, and I wouldn't be and I hate that, so cliche, but I really wouldn't be the person that I am today. I wouldn't be able to look at things so from the outside than I am now, because like whenever any topic comes up, there's so much stuff in my head that I can put as input because of my own experiences. When it's things that I have experienced, when it's something that I don't know anything about, then I don't know anything about that. But when we talk about stuff like that, I have had my own experiences, and it is helpful if you're just like in this enclosure your whole life and you grow up just with the elite, and you never have to worry about struggling for food, and you never, and you never get taught any differently either. You become spoiled, and you become this self-righteous person that thinks, oh, every homeless person is their fault that they're homeless. And it's like, let me make you homeless for one day and see, because that was the thing. My parents were very good at, my parents could have bought me anything I wanted. But more often than not, I would say, Mom, I want this. Mama said, no. And I'm like, why? And she's like, because I said no. And not because she couldn't buy it, not because she didn't want to buy it for me, but because she wanted to teach me that no, like, you're going to have to accept that word, no, because you cannot have everything that you have in the world. You better get used to it right away. Always. It was like, okay, I need you to empty the dishwasher. I don't want to. Okay, I give you $5, empty the dishwasher. Okay. Some would say this is not the right way, but I think it was okay. I think it was okay. Okay way to teach me, and always, my mom always told me, always question everything. Question everything. That if something does not make sense to you, question it. Because she was a firm believer that World War II happened because people stopped asking questions and just followed. That's why she believed deeply that that's why World War II went to the extreme and the extent that it did, because people quit asking questions and people just did what they were told. Even so, when it was cruel things, when it was things that didn't make sense to them, they just did it. And that cannot happen. And of course, my boss hates that about me, and I know that's what he hates about me, because every boss wants their, every boss is so powerful. They want their people to just be ants and workers and shut the fuck up and do what they say. But if you tell me to do something that doesn't make sense to me, I'm not going to do it. Or I'm going to question it at least, and because my grandfather came from the war. He was a child in war, but these are all stories passed down to me, from understanding how it is to be poor. My mom would always tell me the story about whenever we had this tradition in my family, and my grandparents had that same tradition, before my parents, that on Sundays we would have a family breakfast, and we would have all kinds of stuff, eggs, and during the week it was like quick cereal. Everybody has to go to work and school. It was nothing big. But on Sundays we had this kind of ritual thing where Sundays was big breakfast, day. We had eggs, even like a little bit of American breakfast, but German breakfast. And so my grandparents did this too. And one day when my mom was a child, she asked my I wasn't born yet, but she told me the story. She said, your grandfather would always put very thick butter on his toast, like really thick, like grossly thick. And my mom one day asked my grandfather, I said, Dad, why do you put so much butter on your bread? It's so much butter. And my grandfather told my mom, he said, after the war, I promised myself that from now on, I always and forever, till I die, when I bite in a piece of bread with butter, I want to see my teeth marks in it. And that was like this thing, because he was so poor and so starving, during the war as a child, And these are things, and because me and my brother both very much kids of internalizing these things deeply. That is something that will never leave me, and then topped with my own homeless experiences. Now I'm like a pro, I know exactly what goes on, you know what I mean? But yeah, it shapes you. Everything that you experience in your life, it shapes you. Some people are like that, but I do think that really these rich and spoiled people, they're really just like, I think they really have this, exactly that word again, really internalized that it is their fault. They're so like in a delusion and engulfed in so much ignorance that they really believe that is like, they believe that it is that person's fault that they are where they are in their life. Other people, yeah, I think they're using that as shielding because, yeah, they cannot help or whatever, and they feel bad about it. But I think rich people, because I see sometimes these videos of these girls and stuff talking about it, and I'm like, that's where my fucking violence, because that's when I really sit there. It's like, has anybody have ever slapped you in the mouth? Not hard, just like, bah, just one time, and just taste your own blood for 1 second, for one time in your life, and then tell me, then tell me that again. I want to see your face when that happens. I think that to myself. I was like, you're so fucking like. Or really grab them by the shoulders and shake them real quick. Like, are you fucking serious? God. Unbelievable. No, that's true, but oftentimes, no, I'm not talking about. No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, when it comes to like rich people looking at poor people and homeless people, they really fucking believe oftentimes that it is their fault. And yes, some homeless people, it is their fault. Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that, but oftentimes it is not. Guten Morgen, Wenrich. How are you? Yeah. And you see, Mara, my parents weren't like that at all. But my parents had a lot going for them, too. My father, like I said, he was a very diehard athlete. He was a very successful person at Volkswagen. He worked for Volkswagen for 20 plus years. Then my mother was an advertisement manager for fucking companies of hundreds and thousands of euros she managed there and stuff. Very successful, both of my parents. So it was like my parents were really people that strove for betterment. It was always trying to do better, and when they weren't working 60 to 80 hours a week, they loved life. My parents both loved life. They loved having fun. They loved going on family trips. They loved laughing. My parents both, So it was very different, It wasn't like all gloomy and shit, Yeah, gloomy was in there too. We had gloomy times when a family member or animal passed away or something like that, of course, But I shouldn't have said it like that. A family member, period. But, But all in all, my mother was very much, my father too, though, both, they were always like laughing and always joking, always making fucking, my dad always, of course, made stupid jokes, and my mom always had to stop my dad from doing silly shit, Remember that story my mom told me about my dad come home from work, and she had just bottle fed my brother, right? And you won't believe what your dad did. I'm like, what? She's like, your dad took your brother, and I just told him, Dragan, I just fed him. Don't do that. He's going to puke on you. My dad's like, no, he's not. And my dad liked to throw us in the air, right? That was my dad. And my dad did this to my brother like 3 times or whatever, and just hold my brother, and my brother fucking puked into my dad's mouth. And then I'm like, Mom, and then what happened? Mom was like, well, your dad puked. It was so funny. That's the kind of shit, man. My dad would do some shit with us. I was like, oh my God, stop it. He would throw me so high. I'm like, hi, you're high. I was like, oh my God. If I could ever get those old video cassettes, probably lost forever. I will probably never get the home videos ever again. But if I ever do, there's literally, I think, videos of my dad throwing me so fucking high that my mom was freaking out. But it was like, my dad was a pro player. Like, he was never going to drop me. Maybe he did. No, I'm just kidding. He never did. But my mom was freaking, and I'm laughing, right? Because I'm like, that's my dad. He'll protect me. Yeah. Always daddy's girl, man. Forever, ever. Oh, yeah, of course. Should be Wendlich, but that is not the case. That's not, especially not, I mean, I don't know how it is in Germany now, but definitely not in the U.S. In the U.S., people here have to work that much if they only want to have one roommate to share bills with. That's the situation momentarily here. Yeah, I am lucky. I'm in a lucky position. I'm very, because of my brother. Really, I'm thankful to my brother, and the fact that we own this house. So mortgage is cheaper than paying rent. So no, my parents worked 60 to 80 hours a week, and it was also making money so we could have these beautiful vacations to U.S., to Austria, to Switzerland. My parents wanted all that, so they had to work, like that. Because, like, my mom told me, in 1992, we went to the U.S., and literally the vacation was like, I think it was 8 weeks we were in the U.S., and my parents spent $10,000. 10,000 German marks, I should say, on the vacation. Now, if you go to this time versus 1992, I don't know how much that would be now, in terms now, how much money that would be, but yeah, insane. Astronomical numbers, so. Viva la revolution, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Promethean. There you have it. That's exactly. It's outrageous. And I mean, I know you, Promethean. Like, you work like, I mean, always. Like, I never hear you say I'm off. Like, I do hear you say I'm off today, but that's like so far and few in between. You always work, and it's like, so it's like when it comes to having children and stuff, I'm at an age where it's like I should already have a child, really technically in a sense, but it's like, and I'm like, yeah, it'd be nice to have a kid, but it's like, I like, impossible. You know what I mean? Like, I can't fucking do that. I'm not gonna do that. Enroll my kid in a fucked up school system with school shootings just like fucking, they grow like mushrooms. Like, it happens like every day or some shit. Fucking, the educational system is jack shit. I mean, diapers would be fucking outrageous. Like, there's so many more reasons why to not have a kid than to have a kid. Because the only reason for me to have a kid is for my own fucking, to continue my bloodline. Who's over there? Hold on a second. I think my Bjorn is on the roof. Baby Nance? Is that you, Baby Nance? Hey, who are you talking to? Who's out there? I heard that too. Is it nobody? Is it just cars? I thought the Baby Nance was there, no? Oh, yeah, he is. Baby Nance, what are you doing? Mansus. Baby Nance, I'm over here. Mansus. Baby Nance. What are you doing? Hi, little guy. You can't go to the window, little guy. The Baby Nance is right there. Right there on the edge. Nice chitchy butt. It's always so funny. I talk English to my cats, and to my dogs I always speak German. And it's always been like this. I don't know why. Now, I don't have any dogs anymore, but if I ever again do, which I will, it's going to be German. It's so weird. I don't know why my brain switches that. It's really strange. Oh, man. At least none that I know of. Whoa, Fenrich, what the hell? Yeah, Promethean, yeah. Why are you in solitude, Meryl? Get out there. Go out there, man. Go out. Cloth diapers. Cloth diapers. You must have been born in the 60s? or prior, I guess. But I'm just kind of thinking that, like, no, tell me, you gotta tell me, Venlish. I really want to know now. Oh, 80s. And cloth diapers in the 80s still? Oh. Well, wait a minute. 80s? I was born in the 80s. I wasn't in cloth diapers. Yeah, probably Promethean. Well, fucking get your money together and come to Florida and visit me or something. Hey, I tell you guys all the time, you guys are all welcome. If any of you say, hey, I'm coming, come on. I got a big house, you can crash, no problem. Clean, everything here. No, but now seriously, Venlish, I was born in 88. That's 80s. But I'm not an 80s kid. I would never call myself an 80s kid because I did never grow up in the 80s. Like, I never experienced the 80s at all. And I'm very grateful, to be honest with you, because I don't like that whole fucking poofy hair and fucking glittery. Like, no, I'm not cool with the 80s whatsoever. Some good music came out at the time, I'd say. But I am a 90s girl through and through. Grunge music, 90s horror. There's nothing better, bro. Fucking flannel shirts and Jinko pants. Buffalo high heels. Yep. I'm a 90s girl all around, all the time. 83. Oh, okay, so you're 5 years, 5 years older than me. Oh, your grandma was born in 1924. Wow. My grandma was born in 1937. Oma Hedwig, 1937. Meine Mama, 1960. Mein Papa, 1961. Mein Opa, wann war denn mein Opa jetzt? Ja, der muss irgendwie so 1929 oder so. Mein Gott. Yeah, 97. You remember the 80s. Yeah. You're probably an 80s kid a little bit. You were born in the early 2000s. You're definitely a youngling. Yeah. Yeah, you can remember that because I can't. I remember that. Oh, come here, guy. You want to be part of this? Come on, guy. You can. I'm allowing it. You want to jump up here and hang out? Or what? Come. Come here, baby. My guy wants to be part of this. Come here, guy. I love you too. I love you too. Handsome man. I was a year old when the wall came down, and so the way it went for my family was that my family had been split because of the wall. There was my uncle and my aunt and my two cousins. They were on the other side. This is on my mom's side. They were on the other side, and it was like there was my aunt, my mom's sister. She invented a thing that was called a calypso. And the calypso was a thing that it was a black thing that had a little tiny platform on the top, okay? And inside of it were little tiny metal balls, okay? And you would put two stripes of tape underneath this calypso thing, and you would tape it to the dash of your car. And what did this calypso do? It was that you can place a drink on top of this little tiny platform within the calypso, and whatever direction the car would move in, the drink would move with it, so it would never spill. That was patented by my aunt, my godmother, my mom's sister. She patented that. And at the time she had just done that, my grandmother and my mother were watching TV as the wall was coming down, and what they were doing in that moment was they were making little baggies that you would get in a package with a Calypso, which the baggies contained the little tiny metal balls that kept the little platform even, and 2 strips of that tape. So they had to make hundreds and hundreds of them, and they just sat all night long in front of the TV making. It was always Tütchen machen, is what my mom and my grandma called it. Wir waren Tütchen am machen. Wir haben Tütchen gemacht. That made baggies. They were making baggies with these things, with these items in there. And then my mom said, and then it happened, and the wall came down, and we cried, and it was such a wonderful, and blah, blah, and, and the rest is history, So I always forget that. I will, or did you say I will always forget that? I mean, I will always remember that. The story that my mom told me what she was doing when the wall came down with my grandma making baggies. and then 20 years later we could still find these little tiny fucking metal balls everywhere, and we could find these fucking little strips, these tape strips everywhere still. Little man, you are so bothered. Look at this guy here. Man, you are a bothersome man. Do you know that? Look at your face. I love your face. It's a handsome face. I gotta read what you guys were saying here. Oh, yeah, very much. You, I was told, I don't even remember who told me that anymore, but for the longest time, people in the East didn't even know what bananas were because they didn't have that there. It was an exotic food. Your dad played a depressing hustler rap? What the fuck? Yeah, Bentley. Your cartoon got canceled. Damn. Playgrounds were banned till 89. My God. I got your reading in just a second, Meryl, okay? On the West Coast, I mean, I can only hope. You'd be better off there. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, Cuddle Man. You have to go. I have to do my job, Cuddle Guy. Look at this guy. What a handsome man. I love this man. I love you. My guy. Are you tired, my big man? Come on, you sleep on the thing. You sleep on a nice blanket. It's so cozy there. I have to do stuff. I can't hold you the whole time. I know you love it, but my stinky man. You're not really stinky. You smell good. You smell like a baby. Okay, you sleep there, my guy. Okay. Oops, I'm sorry. I love you too. Oh, fuck it. That's the bad part. I got cat hair. Oh, my God. This is horrible. Ugh. My mom and I never talked about Chernobyl like that much. It's weird. It never was really a topic. Maybe West Germany wasn't in the zone or something? Stop talking about that, Meryl. I'm sorry, but it's really just horrible. Oh, he went out there. Oh God, you dogs are very stressed. Holy shit. Maybe that's why my mom never made a big deal about that, because they probably said that. And yeah, Oppenheimer, that's very German. That's very German name. Yeah, but my mom never really even talked about the whole thing, but maybe it just kind of never really came up or something. I don't know. She may have. It is so sad when I sit here and I think my mother has talked about many things to me that I have since kind of forgotten or are vague to me, and I feel fucking horrible about it. Yeah, Oppenheimer. Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's probably why then, yeah. Alright, Meryl, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that's true. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. It's all about power and money, you know? Always. It will always be like this with humans, unfortunately. Well, not always, probably. But, for a very long time still. Alright, let's see. What energies? This is so good. Again, a good sign for you here, Meryl. 8 of Pentacles. Look at that. So this is talking about you'll be taking a lot of pride in the work that you produce. Okay, you'll be a skilled laborer and craftsman, and you will pay good attention to detail to all the work that you will do. This is another good sign toward leaning toward getting this job. So really good. You'll be really involved with it. You'll produce good results with this job. So this is good. This is really good. Yes, getting better and better. So 9 of Swords inverted. This is talking about that because this success in this job, it will subsequently cause you to have a better outlook in life and have better health. Okay, you feel better. Things will start to look up for you. You'll be, progressing in your life. Very good. Very good. Okay. Ace of Pentacles inverted. So this seems to me like more of a personal thing rather than the job related. I think this is really your job, and this is more personal, and this speaks more of kind of a false happiness. Okay, there will be a time, or maybe there's a time now. It's questionable because we don't really know the timeline here, but it's a time of false happiness. Sadness in spite of material gain. So you'll be doing good financially and materialistically, but you still won't be really feeling happy, and you'll kind of squander your wealth. Okay, so that's a little bit not so good, but it's hard to tell if that's happening to you right now, or if this will happen in the future, or if that has already happened. But I'm very certain about these two, because specifically you've been worried about this job so much. So you'll be very well off with this job, and it will provide you with a better outlook and better health. Okay. man, love it. Love it. Called. Okay, so it's called Diffusica. Okay. That's simple to remember. What is it, guy? Oh my god. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get a drink, but I'll be right back, okay? I just gotta get a drink and I'm gonna let him out. Oh, bye, Meryl. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Oh, I would be reading it in the German version, not in the English version. If I can help it. Thank you, Promethean. You have a good night, too. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Emily. Yeah, hydration. I already did that, but anyway. Spiritually. All right. I got you spiritually. Let's do it. I'm actually hyped about it. I'm actually hyped. My cat doesn't go meow. She's so cranky. Let's do it. Ah, this is nice. How you doing spiritually? You've seen another concert? Who? So good. It's like I needed. Yeah, good.
Well, sweetie, what, you didn't like it? Oh my God, sweetie, I'm sorry. You hate this music? Well, that's not my problem, sweetie. Come here, sweetie. Please, sweetie, can't be a good girl. You're really annoying right now with your cries.
Ugh. Anyway, that dinosaur is cute. Oh, let me see. I gotta get it. Welcome back. Seen another show? Oh no, Vendrich, why? Oh, you gotta. What did you do to get arrested in Germany? You must have done really something. Holy fuck. totally learn bass. Totally. Because everybody always looks for a bass player and a drummer. Learn the bass. Trust me. A trial? Oh my god. I can't believe it. And, oh, thank you, spiritually. Yeah. And, the dancing dinosaur, cool. Dude, my hair is fucked right now. It's so, yeah, I know, the cat, yeah. Yeah, Sweetie Cans does not like this music at all. She is very judgmental. Sweetie, be a good girl, Sweetie. Look at her. She's furry. She doesn't even care. She just wants to hang out with me. She's been wanting to sleep on me all day. And I keep putting her on the blanket. And then she comes right back to me and yells at me when I place her on the blanket. But I gotta move. I can't have her sitting on me all day. Sweetie? Yeah, sweetie. I'm talking to you. See, no, sweetie, you can't do this. You can't sit on my lap all day long, sweetie. It can't happen. I know you're the Lion Queen. We know that. But still. Fluffy girl. Oh, hi, Kenjin. The recent political climate? A little bit. I have my friend that keeps me updated on stuff. Yeah, because of the fucking AFD. Oh. I remember doing that as a teen. But we did it at soccer games and such. Right against the police cars too. No, but it's okay. I'm on your side. Because it is unprecedented and it's unacceptable that the political party, the AFD, is on third place of political like acceptance and what do you call it, like fucking you know what I mean. It's fucking, what is going on over there? Taking the fifth for the Americans. Police cruiser. Yeah, that's sure what they are. That's all they are. Cruisers. Oh, I thought my Family Guy was playing, but it's not. No, this is not about, no. No, and most of everybody here is American in the chat. It's not about that. We're literally talking about, no, he's saying because that's what I think, if I interpret this correctly, the Americans have the Fifth Amendment, which is the right to stay silent and not say anything. Plead the fifth is what people say that. Plead the fifth means I would like to remain silent. And that is something that is similar. We have a similar there. Yeah, read. Oh, he wrote it in German. Okay, I'll translate it. Kid's just like, I'm a little Japanese. Come on, Biden. I like Biden. He's like a nice, jolly little grandpa. That's how I see. That's how I view Biden. Like, he is harmless as a fly. That's why I like him. He's not aggressive. He's not war hungry. That's why I like him. And I think that's those are good qualities in a leader. So, the fact that he's an old man and is a little bit, it's whatever to me. Sweetie, what's wrong? Sweetie, where are you? Sweetie. I gotta read this, sweetie. What are you doing? Sweetie Kiss. What's wrong? Let me read. I gotta read this now because 34 messages were deleted. What the hell? What the fuck? Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why did you do that, Kenjin? Please don't do that again. Stop, sweetie. Sweetie, stop. Stop crying. There's no reason for you to cry right now. I'm trying to read this here. Okay, got you. Yeah, sweetie's just being... Ugh. Yeah, so, okay. Now, I don't have to translate. And for some reason, Kenjin deleted the message anyway. I don't get it, but he did. I don't know why. But, I was gonna say, no, I keep having this conversation. The problem, oh, okay. That may or may not, how you should know that, whether it was or wasn't. Shut the fuck up and call your lawyer. Right, yeah, it's the same in America. Well, in America, it's like this. In America, I've noticed this living here. It's not... Okay, got you. It's not about the law. Literally. It doesn't matter what the law states. It depends on circumstances. It depends if the police officer had his coffee this morning. It depends on whether the judge got laid the night before or not. And this sounds really hilarious. This is literally it. I work in an industry where I am surrounded by felons, former, convicts, whatever, all the time, of all shapes, sizes, forms, whatever. And they will literally have conversations about a judge talking about, oh my God, yeah, if you have Judge so-and-so, if she's in a bad mood, you're going to go to jail, man. Yeah, I know, blah, blah, blah. What? This is so... It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. Because when I was raised in Germany, like I said, it's been 16 years, so I don't know how, many things have changed. But it was not like that. The law is the law. Everybody has to abide by it, including, especially, law enforcement, judges, etc., etc. So it's like, for me, it's so appalling that here it really is like, if the police officer is in a good mood, you'll get a warning. If the police officer is in a shitty mood, you get a $150 ticket. That is not acceptable in any way. And then on top of it, they will never be held responsible because they always sit at the longer arm of the law. You know? Right. If there's some sort of evidence. Well, see, that is kind of similar here, but it still depends. The corruption here runs... Okay, sweetie, you really got to stop now. Please. Be nice. Do you have to go pee? What's wrong, sweetie? No, you don't have to go pee, do you? You're just being cranky. Go on the bed, sweetie. Come on. Yeah, go on the bed. Lay there. You love it there. You know that. No, it's really just like the corruption here runs so deeply that it's like, it's kind of fucking scary, man. It's scary. I mean, I can talk about some stuff that I'm not going to talk about because I really don't know sometimes, you know, but I've worked with people that have told me things that they were doing with cops, that they've seen cops do that, and this is not, you know, this is not people telling me because they want to, like, have any kind of, want to impress me, or because it wouldn't do, you know, it was literally just small talk, and they're just telling me stories about things that and, you know, of course, I'm pretty good at reading people, you know, I can tell bullshit pretty much right away, you know, and it's like, nah, that shit, you know, I mean, I was like, literally things were shown to me and told to me interactively as they were, like, happening and stuff. It's like, it's insane. It is really insane what people here are in charge of our safety and all of that stuff. And it's like, those are the certain things where I'm really just like, I miss Europe in that sense, you know. Yeah, you did you redeem a reading? I don't even know, but you probably did. So let me shuffle those, and I see the altar item as well. And if you already sing and play the guitar at the same time, yeah, it will also of course help you, you know. But if you don't already do that, then it's you know, it will help you, but you have to learn first to be able to coincide the singing with the playing at the same time, you know. Okay, Venlich, got you. Yeah, but wouldn't be surprised if your cousin might be involved in some crooked shit, honestly. 95% of cops are crooked. They're not good. They're crooks. They're corrupt. They're violent. They have aggression problems. They feel inferior and scared, and that's why they act the way they do. And I will always stand for this. They will victimize innocent people as soon as they have the chance. Because why? Because the wife beats their ass at home. That's why. Mm-hmm. Of course, Venrich. Of course. I got you. I got you. Yeah, then you already know how to do both spiritually. Police officers have never served me in a positive way in any way ever. I have never been criminalized, charged with any criminal offense. I've never been a criminal. I did shit in my youth that I was never caught for and never charged for, so whatever. But I have never been an offender. I'm not in, and every time I get in contact with police, being pulled over or somebody, most of the time it's somebody around me having problems with it, they treat me immediately like I'm a criminal. They treat me less, like I'm lesser. They will not listen. They will not listen to reason. They will be forceful for no reason. I have had absolutely no good experience with law enforcement in America. I've been violated. My mother has been violated by law enforcement in America. And when my brother has a wonderful point, he always speaks of this. When they talk about defunding the police, that is the wrong thing to do. Fund the police. Give them more funding so they can actually be more educated and be trained better in de-escalating situations without violence. Because they are too uneducated. Because Joe Schmo that has no fucking idea of anything in his life can just become a police officer just like that. Have a gun, a deadly weapon right by his hand. They want to knock on my door because they're looking for somebody, and they want to tell me I need to leave the door open because there might be somebody dangerous. I said, dangerous? I said, you're the one with the weapon, not me. It's unbelievable because they will fight. They will kill you. It's about protecting themselves. It has nothing to do with protecting you or anybody, only themselves. And they are so full of fear because they have not been trained properly that they will grab that weapon and they will use it immediately. We've seen it now countless times. It's being uncovered because we have social media. It is all over social media. We see these police officers killing innocent people, using force when it's not required or to the extent that they use it. Hate them. Nothing to do with police. Don't come here. Get out off my lawn. Get off of my property. Do not come here. Oh, okay. I actually named them earlier, but whatever. Yeah. My brother was jogging at night and they pulled over and pulled my brother to the side and said, you look suspicious. You look like a suspect that was called in, blah, blah, blah. My brother was jogging. My brother has not went jogging since then. Pretty much. They will literally harass you because they have nothing better to do. Especially in small towns here. They're the worst because they have nothing. There's no death, no killings here, no murders, there's no rapes, there's nothing going on here. So they have nothing to do and they will not reach their quota every month. It's fucking horrible, man. It is like we unofficially live in a state of martial law here. You cannot, if I were to go outside on the road right now at this time, it's 12 o'clock at night, if I were to go outside and walk down the road, there's cops everywhere and they will pull me over and they will find a reason to arrest me and be violent with me. It is a given. Like, you cannot even walk down the streets. That's how they act here in the U.S. It's fucking horrific, really. That's fucking crazy spiritually. Yeah, I've never met a good cop, so I don't know nothing of good cops. But anyway, moving on. Let's move on. Let me move on. We can continue this conversation. Wow. Well, that's in Europe that will definitely happen. Yeah, this happens here. Like I said, there's like a 5% of police officers, law enforcement that can be kind, but 95% is violent psychos. They have nothing. They should never be handed a gun in their whole life. But sometimes you'll find a police officer that is kind, but I've never seen it, so I don't know. Yeah, see, somebody militarily trained is different because, for instance, is a good example. In Germany, police officers are trained to the extent of military. They have military training. They don't have that here. A regular police officer is trained not on a military, foundation at all. So they don't have that, So that's a plus that your cousin has this, past experience. Leos? I wonder who's a Leo. Well, shout out to you, Alexander Bell. If I can read this correctly, sorry, it's very small. But anyway, spiritually. Yes. Yeah, but, that's what you sign up for when you sign up for a job like that, Did you redeem a reading? I think you did, right? If you did, you can tell me if there's something in specific that you would like to inquire about, and we can see if that will show up in your reading. Ja, there you go, Wenrich. Boredom. Langeweile. Eindeutig. Yeah, I've been in a drunk tank. Yeah. A couple times. But the drunk tank is not, Okay, spiritually. Let's see if we can... It's an anagram. If you know, you know. I guess I don't know. Damn it! Now I'm curious what that means. Wow, now that is unnecessary. 50 hours of community service? What kind of shit is that? Being punished for trying to be free. Yeah, for breaking curfew. That's so fucking stupid. Metalcore? Yeah, if that's what you're into. Let's see. I don't know what we're gonna find, but we're gonna find. Okay. Okay, so the Six of Pentacles here. Expressing that you are a person that shares, a person that has no problem sharing their wealth with others. Okay, so the word in particular would be charity, gifts, sharing one's wealth, and material generosity. So you're very much a person that shares your wealth with others, which is good. You like others. It seems like you like others to be happy happy with you, in a good place with you. So you are willing to give them things, or do things for them to make them feel better. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Van Licht, that rings true. I liked your little riff that I listened to. I liked it. If you came up with that on your own, you got this. Okay. Yeah, it's yeah. All right, let me move forward here. Mm. Seven of Wands. We haven't had that one in a while. It seems, let me see, because I don't want to. Yeah. Okay. So it seems like you're overcoming something that has been problematic in your life. You're beating the odds, and you're victorious over competition, and you're winning a fight or a struggle. Could be with a particular scenario that's going on in your life right now. But you're definitely succeeding. It's something that you have to push yourself through, and that you're fighting to overcome. But it's like, a child in a labyrinth almost, but you're finally starting to find the end after you've hit many corners and walls. You're finding your way to the end, out of this labyrinth. Okay. No, it's okay, because I think that this has to do also with you overcoming kind of your nervousness about maybe reaching out and trying to actually find a band. I think you're in the process of overcoming that, and actually, really gonna go out and try to find a band. You know what I mean? Mm. Let me look at the last one. Ah, talking about calling you out. The Strength card inverted. So uh, there is this slight feeling of defeat in you, of surrendering. Okay. I feel like, but I feel like that's something that is in the remote past, in a sense. So it's like, this is what's happening currently, that you're kind of finding your way and wiggling your way out of this feeling, out of this um, feeling of surrender and defeat about yourself and maybe your skills and everything. But you're working through this, and you're coming out on the other side. Okay. So I do see that happening. Yeah. Yeah, so it's looking good. So don't be worried. It is looking, it's looking up for you. Okay. Yeah, you don't suck. You don't suck at all. No. My cats are finally still, or my cat, my guy, he was good the whole time. Oh yeah, you can. Of course, I'm definitely open to it. But wait, I do want to. I think you redeemed an altar item. I want to do that real quick. Um, so let me do that. I have to look for what though. It's getting more difficult every time. outside. This is a rather curious altar item. Altar item. You redeem that. Look at this. This is rock salt. This is used to cleanse your crystals. So you put your crystals inside, and you must make sure that they are completely covered by the rock salt. And what happens is that the rock salt cleanses them of all the energies that have been absorbed by the crystal over the time of its usage. That is, for instance, something that you want to do immediately upon receiving or getting a crystal. You want to place it inside there, covered completely, and let it sit for a night so that the rock salt can absorb all the energy from past owners or whatever has been, it's a cleansing technique. And then what you should do next is, after the night of being covered in this rock salt here, you take the crystal out, you wash it with clean water, just with water, and then you sit it in the sun or the full moon. It is kind of like up to you at that point. It is really up to your choice, and let it charge with the energy of said star or moon or whatever. And then your crystal will once more be in a state of being able to be used again properly, without because it can happen if you use a crystal in some kind of manifestation or anything like that, then residual energies from the past can manipulate the manifestation process in a negative sense. You know what I mean? So it is very good to do that. So that's my rock salt from my altar. So yeah, that's why I always tell people, if you ever want advice on things like this, ritual things, spells, anything like that, candle magic, whatever you want, I have a good amount of knowledge, so you can always ask me, and I'll give you advice on what would be good for certain things, what would be appropriate to do for certain things. So yeah, that was the altar item. It's very quiet right now. Oh, I guess it's because it's during the week. Everybody's let me read that, Venetia. Oh, wow. What is it that puts you at high risk? I know my mother would have been, because my mother had emphysema and COPD. All right, Venlich, have a good night. Thank you so much for coming. Schlaf gut und dann bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss und danke. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna head out for tonight too, my people, because it is late and I've been on for 2.5 hours now. So I am really tired. So I'm gonna go. But I will probably... Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. My mom had the respiratory and the smoking, but she quit for a long time, but, yeah. Yeah. It's dangerous for people with pre-existing conditions. But yeah, guys, it was really nice chatting tonight. Really, really awesome. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I want to thank Emily. She was kind of lurking around. Who else? Who else came? Oh man, I gotta really look because I forget. Spiritually, thank you for coming. Venrich, awesome as usual. Kenjin, thank you for coming. Who else? Promethean was here. Thank you so much. I said Emily already. There were other people though. I think Meryl. Thank you, Meryl, for being here. And I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. What a great chat tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And until then, don't forget to mourn those in spiritual turmoil. And yeah, I'm going to. I'm gonna go look that up. I am, cause I'm like, what is that? And thank you, Alexander, too, for coming in. Appreciate you. So thank you very much. Yeah, tschüss, Alexander. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. I'll be back tomorrow, and until then, I say tschüss, zdravo, and bye.